Hey everybody, welcome to episode 13 of Burn Down the Sandcast. It's your boy Alex, aka Miko, aka the original Yefmeister. We're here. We're out here doing it. How's everybody's Thanksgiving? What's going on?
Hi, I'm not done with intros yet, and my name is Mike, aka at Rick Rolls Royce, and this is the unluckiest episode of the podcast, although my Thanksgiving was alright. Who else is with us today?
I am not here. I'm here in, like, a very loose definition of here.
And you are...
I am Maggie. I'm Maggie, and I'm, gonna be dead by the end of this, so... See you then.
We'll put you on our will. And hi, I am back from wherever the fuck I've been for the last couple of weeks. My name is Mark, at GameBud on the Twitters.
Hello.
Well, we haven't done an episode for a couple of weeks, so it's fine. Nobody noticed.
Don't worry about it.
But I mean, like, I honestly forgot most of my week ever since that vacation ended.
Yeah, but they don't need to know that.
What do you mean,
Yeah,
Alex?
this is our podcast. They have to know everything.
What do you mean, Alex? They just released an episode last week-ish.
Oh, you
maybe.
mean the episode we released on the first hour of December 1st that was recorded in October?
Mm-hmm.
Look, that's just how stuff works around here.
Look, things got a little hairy, and...
So, Mark, what did you do for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
I hung out with the family for a couple hours and fell asleep for half the day.
That sounds like a good Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Did you eat a turkey?
I don't really like turkey.
So, no.
The fuck?
Was there turkey, and you didn't eat it? Or okay.
There was turkey.
Well, I'm glad. I'm proud of you for having turkey.
Sure, why not?
Is that a thing to be proud of now, or...?
Sure, why not?
I can be proud of you for whatever. It doesn't matter.
We are thankful to be together to record a podcast.
This is a positivity podcast now.
I'm so proud
good.
of you for going to the grocery store and buying this dead-ass frozen bird.
Look, man, the bird deserved it.
It was a heavy bird. Almost as heavy as Charizard.
I don't know if you knew this, but our turkey was a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! We had to kill it.
On the
Hold that
subject,
thought for 30 seconds because First Aid Kite just asked me to be in a stream literally minutes after we started the podcast.
Good move.
Fucking Christ.
on the
Come
subject
on.
of birds and Charizard,
Go
did
on.
turkeys have cloacas? Like Charizard does?
Charizard has one.
That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Does that
I
mean
don't think turkeys do. I think chickens do, though.
Okay.
I'm looking it up.
There's a podcast? What's going on?
Yeah, they do. They both have cloacas.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
So, Miko, what is,
Yeah?
I had also a Thanksgiving.
You asked for this.
I did ask for this.
So how was your week?
So I realized at some point that I get vacation time now, like paid vacation time, and it's almost the end of the year and I hadn't used it.
And so you were like...
So I took the whole week of Thanksgiving off of work and I slept in until like 11 a.m. every day and it was rad.
Very nice.
And I went to work on Monday feeling more refreshed than I've ever felt in my entire life and it was beautiful.
And then in 2 hours, you immediately felt terrible.
Yeah, because, I was out for a week and, So what I would describe my job as, other than like doing big data bullshit, is I keep the plates spinning. I was not there for a week. Some of the plates fell.
The plates did not keep spinning in your absence.
Yeah. So that was fun. Thanksgiving wise is kind of normal for us. My sister came down from Boston with her husband. I tried to convince her to listen to the Adventure Zone because she likes a lot of other McElroy content and doesn't listen to the Adventure Zone. I don't know.
And she was like,
Weird.
Sorry, I don't listen to D&D, you fucking nerd.
She was like that, and I was like, you're wrong. It's actually good. Deal with it.
And then in a couple weeks, she'll be an avid fan. And be like, I was so wrong, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was my Thanksgiving.
Cool.
Anything else?
Did everyone else go with Thanksgiving time?
Yeah, so normally we do like an extended family thing here, where my dad's family, he has a brother and a sister who both live in New York City. So a lot of the time we either go to one of their houses or they come here. and we do like a big, extended family Thanksgiving. My dad's brother has 2 kids, and his sister has a kid. So, but this year we were like, fuck that, and we didn't do any of that, and we just had a local, immediate family only Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And it was dope because it was super, super low key. I got to eat turkey in my underwear. I was in my underwear the whole day, in fact, which is, hey, that's a great Thanksgiving thing to do, is be in your underwear while eating Thanksgiving food.
Yeah, it is.
And I had all the leftovers to myself. I had multiple leftover turkey and cranberry sandwiches, and they were very good.
Okay.
Yeah, the leftovers were choice.
But cranberry is bad.
So I normally would agree with you because I don't like it when it's like, you get it from the can or whatever, and it's all like mushy and just fucking gnarly and.
No, I just mean like cranberry. Everything is bad.
No. Hear me out. This doesn't taste just like really like bitter, awful cranberries. So my dad makes it every year, and it's like.
And he fucks it up with sugar.
And he cuts up a bunch of cranberries. He fucks it up with sugar. He puts some Grand Marnier in it, and he also puts like orange juice and stuff in it.
Oh God, no, not that.
Make it way less acidic and garbage like that. And it's really sweet, lots of sugar, tastes really good. And then you do that, you throw that on some whole wheat bread with some turkey, some mayo, and some hot sauce. Done.
Okay, you lost
Done.
mayo and cranberry. I don't want those to be even in
So,
the same like fucking.
You
zip
think
code.
that that's true, but you're wrong, and it's amazing because turkey can
No,
never
don't.
have enough extra things to make it not dry, and that just makes it salty and delicious. It's so good.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna ask you.
You just don't like
Does your
mayo.
Dad, when your family cooks a turkey, do they do the Alton Brown method from Good Eats? Because my dad does, and it's very good.
My mom like brines it and all that stuff, and it's not dry when you initially are eating it. But
this is a purely I fucked it up in the microwave situation.
This is a
Now
purely
it's all dry?
it's 3 days later. It's been sitting in. We literally had half of a turkey sitting in the fridge, and
okay.
like I'm out here eating sandwiches of turkey, and you leave anything in the fridge for 2-3 days, it's gonna dry out. So
Yes, I guess that's true.
I mean, that's why you put it in a container, man. We don't.
Yeah, just
No,
leave
we
the
do.
turkey exposed in the fridge. That's totally a thing that people do.
We do. Yeah, we just I just threw the turkey in the fruit drawer. that was it.
Oh, the dehumidifying drawer.
There's a fruit and a vegetable drawer.
So, do you think those cranberries will make me not associate cranberries with Captain Morgan anymore?
What?
I don't know why you would associate those two things in the first place. If anything, I would
Cranberry
associate
juice.
it with vodka.
Cranberry juice is a bad
Yeah,
thing.
cranberry juice and vodka. Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, cranberry juice and rum? Not real common, gotta say.
Yeah, I
Did
wouldn't
you
do
know
that ever.
people in middle school are dumb? Very dumb.
People are drinking in
Yes.
middle school?
Let's not. We're gonna move
Yeah,
past
man.
that. Please.
Yeah, I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that. Tell me how your Thanksgiving was, though.
We out here in the real world, son.
What did you
Oh,
do with the
no.
shelf, Maggie?
I put put shelves up. That's really about it.
Yeah, like by yourself.
Put the robots on the shelves, and now they're there. You
Did you
know?
put an elf on the shelf?
There's
Are there any
There's a
elves in
gnome.
Warhammer?
I will say that
No.
is actually an appropriate timing to ask that question, considering Christmas is coming up.
there
but-
is a gnome on the shelf,
That's good enough for me.
garden gnome kind of thing.
Does it watch what you do and report back to Santa?
No, he's got no eyes. He's got too much fur.
He's blind.
Oh, that's rough.
It's just a very fuzzy gnome thing.
He wears a blindfold to train his senses.
So you put your Gundams on a shelf, and also your sister's girlfriend is a crackhead?
Thanks for reading that.
I mean, I don't know. You put it in the show
You wrote
notes.
it in the document. What do you want from us?
No, I meant like I was gonna like set up. That,
Oh,
but,
okay,
you know,
okay.
he just
I don't feel like there's a lot of setup for that. So the other day, I was smoking crack, and I met my sister's
Oh
girlfriend.
no, there is setup for that because no, she didn't come here at all. I woke up at like, I don't know, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. 'Cause fuck it.
I mean,
and,
whatever. It's Thanksgiving, so.
And I ate the food. That was all nice. My brother and sister came over from whatever the fuck they're doing. And then, You see,
Living life.
this is where it's like, it almost was normal. It was almost fine.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Sister left. Everything was fine.
Oh.
And she calls my mom at like fucking 2 or 3 in the morning. And just tells her about how like her girlfriend basically tried to trick her to smoke crack and go buy crack with her.
What do you mean trick her? How do you trick someone?
Because she brought her to a crack house without telling her it was
Oh
a
my
crack house.
god.
Oh,
That
Wow.
would
Jesus
be
Christ.
it.
Yeah, that
I got
was a
some
trick.
advice for your sister, which is sever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
She did, pretty much.
Okay, that's good.
Because my sister went in the house, realized it was a crack house, wanted to leave, and her girlfriend's just like, "No, let's just get like $20. Come on, we're here already."
No, that's not. No.
We're already here.
And then when they're in the car driving away, she was literally grabbing the steering wheel, trying to get my sister to pull over and like yanking
oh my
it.
goodness.
And my sister was just like, "Just get the fuck out of the car."
Yeah.
She has a kid, by
That's
the way,
The accurate
girlfriend.
response.
so that'll be fun.
Well, you know.
And now I learn all this stuff about the girlfriend. She used to do meth, and now she moved on to crack, which, fuck.
Is that graduating or is that
That is
being
better.
held back?
That is better.
Okay. All right.
Because I know someone who went from crack to meth, and meth is genuinely worse than crack.
All right.
I've
That's
seen
good to know.
Breaking Bad. I've seen some things, man. Anyway,
Yeah, hi. Who likes Long Island? I don't. Get me the fuck off of here.
Have
Yeah,
you already
yeah.
tried? How was the turkey?
Long Island is shit. There's just crackheads everywhere. It's fucking terrible. It's
There's
just rich
turkeys
pricks in the
everywhere.
Hamptons and crackheads. I don't want to be here anymore.
So news.
yeah. let's
Hi, welcome.
let's segue very quickly into news.
Speaking of,
Jesus.
I don't think there's a way you can segue into this.
Oh,
news
hold on,
article,
I'm not
so
looking
just
at
gonna
it
read
yet. Let me.
Speaking of kids and squids.
Speaking of kids staying away from drugs.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sure. So, Splatoon 2, the sequel to Splatoon on the Nintendo Switch.
Mm.
Maybe you've heard of it. It's
Mm.
kind of a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants one. Anyway, Splatoon 2 rolled out a pretty big patch with some new weapons, new hairstyles, and most importantly, the ability to switch weapons while you are in the lobby. Base functionality that should have been in Splatoon 1. Thank you. Oh
so
my
I just want to
god.
be clear. You join a match.
Uh-huh.
At any time during the match, you can switch weapons, or
No, only in the lobby while you're waiting between rounds.
okay.
So I've seen this. So when you first join a match, you don't get the option right away. It's when the match is over. You have like even before we let to stay in the lobby. If yes or no,
Mm.
there's a third option now, which is yes, but I want to change my gear.
Yeah, you know
Gotcha.
how in every other online shooter thing, there's like a loadout option on that screen? Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
they added that.
Well,
Because
Yes.
Nintendo's bad at this
But
shit.
to be fair, in most online shooters, you can change that mid-match, so you still can't do that. But
You
I
gotta
mean,
commit.
you can't edit a loadout mid-match.
You play
but
Call
that's
of
not
Duty.
what this is. This is like, hey, I want to use a different gun.
Mm.
Listen, I
As
don't
much
know
as
how
it's so short,
Splatoon
there's no
works.
reason to switch in mid match. Doing it, like,
Yeah, I mean, 3 minutes I can deal with.
I don't have a problem with that in Splatoon. I'm just saying that that's not.
mhm.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
conflate
no.
editing a kit to changing weapons in Splatoon because it's like using a different loadout in Call of Duty.
Mhm. But the thing is, though, like going from like the lobby, backing out, back to the main menu,
Yeah,
and then
tell me
pulling
about
out, that takes forever.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
hitting minus and then equipping your thing and then going back into the lobby.
That was a large reason why I didn't play that much Splatoon multiplayer in the first one because holy fuck.
Well, they fixed that problem, so buy Splatoon 2 and join us for Splatoon nights.
Well, no one plays it, so
I played it the
I'll
other
play
night.
it.
I'll
I'll play it if people are playing it.
I
Let's
want to
some
play
Splatoon.
it, just stuck with homework.
yeah, you say that.
I
I got other games on the Switch I have to deal with. We'll talk about those later.
Yes, you will.
Oh no.
I have too much Switch stuff I have to deal with right now.
Hey, Mike. Mike,
Yeah.
you want to play Splatoon?
One? No.
No, any Splatoon. Let's play right now. Come on.
You don't have
That's
either
not
one of
how
them, do
this
you?
works.
With the power of imagination.
I'm not gonna go to our Splatoon with you.
Oh, I forgot that existed.
Hey, Mike, can you bleep that in post? I don't need.
Fuck no.
Oh, okay.
That's
All right.
let them discover it on their own.
I don't want to. Don't go there. That's what I'm saying. The FBI will show up at your house.
It's in the name. It's in the fucking name. You should know this by now.
Hi, everybody. If you go to r/Splatoon.com,
Now this I'm gonna
you
bleep
will
out.
go to jail. No, I'm trying to warn people. I'm not telling them to go there.
I know I'm a cop. I don't want people to know that. I want them to go to jail.
Oh, come on.
You're trying to be protective. So,
That's
aside
entrapment.
so the lobby, the island thing is the big update for this because it's holy shit. But they also they brought us some maps from Splatoon 1. They added a new map, which is like a shopping center.
Did they bring in the skate park?
I think so, yes.
I want that one.
Oh, thank God, yes.
Yeah, I would watch.
That's the
I had
best
watched
one.
Vinny play. Yeah, they have that back in the
That map
rotation.
rules.
They also added. They're adding in a brand new horde map for the other mode. So to
I
that,
don't even know what it is, but yes.
it's horde mode. What the fuck
No,
do you expect?
I have an idea, but I mean,
You get eggs.
I never played it. Sure. Okay.
Look, we'll play it. We buy the game. We'll play it together.
D-egg.
The egg man.
Just have a nice breakfast meal.
That's what
Dude,
I
this is a
am.
big fat update.
Just
compared
crack an
like-
egg on the Mario.
And guess what? This update totally free.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, Nintendo's not really in the business of charging for that.
I know,
kind
but
of thing.
this is a fucking segue. Give me this.
Oh.
Let me hit you up with how much the DLC edition of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 costs. $90 anyway.
Never heard of that game, but I have heard of some video games.
There's Zelda DLC you have to pay for, I'm pretty sure. Anyway.
It's $20.
Nintendo doesn't charge for additional content. That's why amiibos don't exist.
Nintendo
Right?
doesn't charge for additional content. That's why I spent $5,000 on Fire Emblem Mobile. Anyway.
Speaking
I like
of
how at
charging,
least 3 of us have tried to segue and we cannot do it.
You fuckers can't keep ruining this.
Speaking of
bad
charging-
decisions.
Oh, son of a bitch, you motherfucker.
Oh my god! I fucking hate this podcast. Okay.
Speaking of
Anyway.
shitty companies,
Speaking of motherfuckers,
Yes, also that.
EA.
hey,
Our
did you
pals
know
EA.
EA still shit?
EA, have you heard of him? It's in the game.
Have you heard of them? Or it would be if you paid money for it.
No, it's
boy.
in the game.
So, this has been building up for about several weeks now. Let's hurry up because this is a big one.
Microtransactions.
I
It's in
added
the
this in its infancy and it kind of like exploded in the 3 weeks we didn't record anything.
It
So
doubly exploded. We actually added another explosion at the a post shock at the end.
Yes. Alright, so where to begin? So, Battlefront 2, it was quickly discovered the fact that everything in that game that actually is fun, you have to eventually either unlock the old-fashioned way, which takes fucking forever, or you can skip the middleman and just pay up front for it.
Wait. Before you move forward, let me just say two things. One, people discovered this in the beta. They discovered that this was the case and complained about it to them in the beta. Two, this is not just like, oh, you a cool cosmetic for your stormtrooper, bro, or whatever. This is like, I literally get a thing that makes my grenades deal more damage to you. Or I literally get a thing that lets me play as Han Solo. And if I don't get it, I can't play as Han Solo. So this is like the most egregious kind of microtransaction shit.
Mm-hmm. So it's not like you're getting a fancy hat, you're actually just getting straight up upgrades for other
Right.
people.
Straight up like numerical, like I literally kill you faster stuff, or straight up like I get to play as a character that you don't get to stuff.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, along with that, they tried to fix this problem. And what they did, they decided to go ahead and cut all the amounts needed by 75%. But see, that's the kicker. They realized that along with that, they also did the amount you get from rewards also by 75%. So basically, it's the same thing. It's just a smaller number.
So what he means by that is how much you earn for the in-game currency, not what you pay for.
Mm-hmm.
So they lowered the prices 75% and lowered the gains by 75%. So no change across the board.
Yeah. So really, it's just 1/4 the size chunks, but it's the same.
Yeah. So, continuing the madness, we're now up to like a couple hours before release, and they finally put out a press release saying, oh, we're removing all the deals. We're removing the money currency in the game, the DLC, out of the game. So the way to get it is to play it and earn it.
And to be clear, they gave this press release, said, we're going to remove all of this shit, And then what was it? Either a few hours later, or was it in the same press release where they then said, "Oh, by the way, it also might be back later, but it's gone for now."
They said like we're gonna temporarily remove all the microtransactions, but we're gonna
Yeah,
put them back
it's
in
that
later.
same press release.
Yeah, it was the same release.
So look. So the reason why that became a thing is apparently Disney the people at Disney got wind of this and actually called EA and say, "Hey, you fuckers, fix this."
Hey,
Yeah.
so also here's the other thing: is the Disney would not let them just run away with this on Star Wars. They had to have known. There is no way they did not know while this was happening.
True.
These are important business decisions regarding one of Disney's now biggest franchises.
Because freaking like, what should we call it? The new movie. It's coming like a couple weeks after this.
Yep.
So the game pretty much just advertises the new movie.
It's coming out on Christmas, the new movie. So, also,
I thought it was the 12th.
I think
or something.
I thought it was on Christmas, but here's the other thing. The one thing I will say, I feel like have been
15th.
giving credit to Disney, but one thing you maybe don't know, which is what I have heard, is that Disney said to EA when this game was in dev, guess what you cannot just charge for and have in a loot box? Only cosmetic shit. So
No, they never
costumes,
said
you can't
that.
have it. You
That's
sure?
what EA's one of their like executives or whatever said like, yeah, we didn't want to mess up the canon because people would get mad about it. So like
My implication was
we can't
Disney
have
didn't let
like a
them do that.
pink Darth Vader or something. That's literally what he said.
I mean, Disney probably, because like at this point,
But-
anything Star Wars related is canon. Or
Right, they don't let people fuck with their canon,
But wait,
actually.
EA did like a whole thing where they said like we can't add cosmetic stuff because we don't want to mess with the canon, but people data mined the game, and literally in the game are a bunch of cosmetic options that are hidden for now and are probably going to be released later, and they're already in the game.
Or maybe they developed them thinking it would be allowed, and then Disney said you can't do that, and they got rid of them.
It's
Both of that
it's-
is possible.
No,
I mean,
because it
are
was
they-
in the first one. The first game had that shit, so it would make
It-
sense.
It'll probably be a thing when the movie comes out.
We'll see. Anyway,
But yeah, so that happened.
this blew up.
This blew up really badly because at this point, people were starting to contact the government or like their local like officials, and the government started to actually get involved. They got that bad.
EA fucked up a little too much, pretty much.
Specifically Belgium, right?
Belgium was like the first major one.
Yes. So if you recall the our loot boxes gambling conversations from a couple months ago, those have now taken on new life in the form of Belgium thinks they're gambling and wants to ban them so that children don't play
Yeah,
it.
and let's be clear, they are. Like,
Yeah,
if you want to get
for
into
real.
it,
If by our loot boxes gambling conversation you mean are they gambling, and then yes, and that's
Yeah.
it, because they are. That's really it.
yeah. So yeah, Belgium then started talking about, oh, we're gonna like look into this, and basically,
If it gets far enough to them, they will try to ban it throughout Europe.
right?
So-
yeah,
So the thing with like the EU is that they're very strict about this because they have also like banned like gambling related things in like children's games,
hmm
which is why in the Pokemon games, the game corners are now gone forever.
Yep.
Because of that.
Mm-hmm.
So when things gotta get serious with them, it will affect everyone.
And also, Europe also typically in the past has done like Europe-wide stuff, even though it might be only be one country's laws that are preventing stuff.
Mhm.
Although that's not true of everything. Like for one example, anytime there's a game that has like Nazi paraphernalia type stuff in it, there's
Mhm.
usually a Germany version, and the rest of Europe gets a regular European version. But for a lot of
Germany
other
actually
things-
has a couple of things like that,
Yeah,
like
true.
German Team Fortress 2, like all the classes are robots
Mhm,
and not people because you can't show blood, I guess, I think.
There's like things where extreme gore isn't allowed. So like
Yeah.
giving and shit
No,
like that.
I can tell the Tier 2 version has like confetti when they get hit.
I mean, that's just party mode. You can turn that on
Yeah,
a
but that's
certain
like
basis.
permanent on in German.
Yeah, so that's just like one example, but that's typically like that's sort of the extreme end. Usually, when this stuff happens in EU, it's EU wide, right?
Mhm.
Because obviously they don't release a version for like France, England, Germany. Usually, don't release a version for France, England, Germany, Spain, fucking how many other EU countries are there, Iceland, I don't know, all that shit. They released one EU version that has all that shit in it. So if Belgium doesn't like it, then that affects the rest of the EU.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. And then you were taking the lead, Game Bun, so that's why I said and then.
Oh, and then after all it's said and done, we get to the next wave of bullshit, which is from the UFC game they're going to be releasing later on.
That's you just skipped
you
like
skipped,
4 things on this
oh,
list.
Well,
I
just skipped one.
Yeah. So, along with Belgium, Hawaii also decided to go ahead and take a crack at this. If I remember right, what was the quote he said?
And it was shots fired. I'm actually going to see if I can find this really quickly.
Like, it was like, we are making a Star Wars themed casino?
Yeah.
Star Wars themed casino.
As they put it, I believe, he said, it's a trap. Because, you know...
Oh, yeah, he did say that.
Yeah, he did say a very bad thing.
Because the meme with the Star Wars...
His name is Chris Lee, and he's a Democrat from Hawaii, and he said, basically... the video is titled EA Predatory Behavior Announcement, and he basically called it Battlefront 2, and he called it a Star Wars-themed online casino designed to lure kids into spending money, which is accurate. All of that is fully true.
Especially considering shit EA has said before, like with Battlefield 1, where they admitted they weren't going to do it originally because they thought kids wouldn't know what World War I was. And it's like, well... It's an M game, so that shouldn't matter.
Right, and to give a specific quote, he said, "These kind of loot boxes and microtransactions are explicitly designed to prey upon and exploit human psychology in the same way casino games are so designed. This is especially true for young adults, who child psychologists and other experts explain are particularly vulnerable. These exploitive mechanisms and the deceptive marketing promoting have no place in games being marketed to minors, and perhaps no place in games at all."
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's all pretty...
If you
now,
are
when he
a
says
premium,
no place in games at all,
if you are a premium price game, like if you have to pay money to play it, if there's any microtransactions in it, it's bad. If there's loot boxes in it, that's fucking really bad.
Okay, wait. So I'm gonna slow your roll right now, because I will give an example where I'm gonna give 2 examples. One, loot boxes that don't cost real money, I don't think I have any problem with.
I do.
If they don't cost any money at all, and it's just like, if there's no real money transaction happening, and it's, you know, there's like that, you know, kind of gambling thing where it's like a casino roll, but there's no way to spend your money on it, I don't have a problem with that, because it's like, yeah, it's kind of still exploiting that psychology, but it's in a harmless way where you can't, like, you know, destroy your bank account doing it. And then and then also I will say, when you have I do think there's an issue when you cause people to spend money on it, but there's other examples where it's only cosmetic stuff where I think that's at least less bad, because it's like, okay, you're not gaining an advantage, there's not a reason that you quote unquote need to do this in order to be competitive. It's just like, I want to look cool, I want to be the cooler looking guy, so I do this. I think that's more reasonable.
But 2 things. Overwatch is only cosmetic stuff, I believe, right?
No, yes.
Overwatch is fucking terrible. It's really
fucking bad. The game or the system?
The loot box system is really fucking bad.
Well, what's bad about
because they purposely give you like duplicates, and there's a bunch of shit they obviously know you don't want in there, and it's just designed to waste your fucking time.
Right, so to me a good example of this would be like, I think that what they should be doing is framing it more like a trading card game than the way that they're doing it with, like, say, Overwatch. Because the problem is, in Overwatch, right, the only way to, quote-unquote, buy the thing you actually want is to get dupes and keep getting them, which gives you a currency instead of giving you the dupe that lets you spend it on the thing you actually want.
Yep.
Whereas when you have an open economy that lets you trade items, then that doesn't become a thing. You
get a Counter-Strike, which is a fucking mess.
Right, but Counter-Strike also involves money. So if there wasn't money involved, it would be different, I think. But
It would just be a pointless fucking mess.
well,
so Counter-Strike also has this unique situation where it has the Steam Marketplace, and you could just sell a knife for $200.
Right, exactly.
You know that you're getting that knife.
That was always the
So-
thing. Plus, the thing about also with the items and skins in like Valve games is that most of that shit is done by the community, and they get a cut from that if you buy it.
Yep.
Yeah,
If you want an example of a game that I'm pretty sure you couldn't buy, and it used the loot box thing, Lost Planet 2. And that was bad.
Okay.
That was
What
really
loot
bad.
boxes were in? Oh yeah, that was just random items though. But yeah, I don't agree
That's
with you.
what
I
a
don't
loot
think that was
box
that bad.
is.
I don't think that was bad because it's just like okay. I don't think assigning.
was.
I don't have any problem with assigning rarity to stuff you do because then it's like okay, if you really want this good thing, you have to work for it. But
It's not working. You just have to get lucky.
right, but
That doesn't make me feel good when I
you
get
work
that.
for
It's
it
just
in
like,
the sense
oh,
of if you work for it in the sense of if you don't get it, you have to keep struggling to get it or you won't.
I
but-
have to keep hitting the button.
Yeah, sure. And don't get me wrong, as someone who plays fighting games, I prefer stuff where it's like, okay, like I like all my options available to me at the outset, right? Like, but when it's something cosmetic, that's why I say I have less issue with it because then it's like, okay, this isn't affecting my gameplay. This isn't affecting the way that any of this happens. This just affects, my own aesthetic enjoyment of the thing that's happening.
Well,
Yeah.
as someone who that stuff does actually bother, if I'm playing a game and I know there's stuff I can't get in it, or it's really hard to get
Well, you
in
can.
unless I grind, I will literally not play the game anymore, probably, because I'll just lose
Well,
interest
then
in
just don't play it.
That's fair.
Yeah, just
I mean,
don't play
you don't
it.
have to, but
it. It just
Yeah,
makes me
like-
feel like I'm missing out, and I wonder what else I'm missing out on, or if there's something that I might want.
I'll say this as someone who's gone down the rabbit hole of opening shit in TF2. It's like, believe me, this is back before CSGO was ever a thing.
I know.
Yeah, no, that actually, my first exposure to loot boxes in a game I played all the time was Team Fortress 2.
That's
so I'm
actually maybe even
curious.
darker than CS:GO.
Yeah, I'm actually curious as to how you think about how they rolled that out, where it was like you knew what was in each loot box because it was like part of a numbered series, but then you had to buy a key
Mm-hmm.
for $2.49 to open it, or you could trade that loot box for something else that you knew what it was with some other player.
So that's how it was in the
So-
beginning, because I played TF2 back before the man comedy update was ever a thing.
So I stopped playing long before the Manconomy update was ever a thing, so I don't know what it's like now.
So basically, when that happened, they introduced the crate system.
They made it like CS:GO, basically,
Well,
with the man
no,
economy.
this was no.
No,
this was a long time ago.
I know,
Yeah,
but
this is basically the I
I'm
guess
saying for to have everyone understand, if you know what the CS:GO system is like, they made it like that.
well, this is
but
basically
before
what
that, it
came out
wasn't.
of this came out of that. So along with that, they also introduced trading, which again, this is before the marketplace as well. So whatever you had something, you were stuck with it, or you could just give it to someone else. But for the most part, the crates were either had like strange items. Well, okay, it's strange. The TF2, a strange item just means it keeps track of your kills. They give it like stat track.
Yep.
And then you have like hats and stuff like that. But every now and then you have a chance to get like an unusual item, which is like just an effect on a hat, which was nowadays worth a lot of money. I only got one of them out of like so many crates. I reached the point where like, Cause like the one thing, cause they tell you what's inside the crate, you get it? Cause like there's only like 10 items inside each crate.
Right.
So it's like a different series they release every couple like months.
Yeah. I think I still have a Halloween 2011 crate in my inventory somewhere.
If I remember correctly, it was more like a cosmetic kit than it was like a quote unquote crate, right? Because it was just like, okay, you know what's in here. It's this stuff.
Well, but it tells you exactly what you're gonna get.
Right.
But like in the beginning, it didn't tell you every weapon was strange, so you're not sure. It's like crates back in the beginning were just like, here's a regular item and a crate.
Well, so in the beginning, strange items didn't exist yet, because I stopped playing before strange
That
items
was
were
what I
rolled out.
remember.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what the problem is. Because there was a crate that had like a good item, and then there's also the shield item, which is like shit in the game. And most you open it, and then you like you wasted 200, you wasted 250 on a back, whatever it's called, which is like they're worth like 10 cents.
Right.
So it's always like a gamble with that.
No, man,
But
you're
like,
not
later-
wasting money. You're helping Valve get by. They're like, they gotta make a lot of games, right? That's what they're doing.
Yeah, like Half-Life 3.
Yeah, about that.
But anyway, as the crate system went on, they started introducing community crates. Whichever crate you open, the money would get split among all the people who made items for the crate.
Right.
Which is like, I can appreciate that. If it's like someone has made an item, you want to support them, you just buy the key.
Which is how the CSGO stuff works to this day, where it's like, hey, when we release these new maps, you buy a token, and that money is going towards the community creators.
Mm-hmm.
Is my understanding.
So again, like this all started at TF2, where they introduced not only the community crates, they introduced stamps for individual maps. So say like you want to like support someone who made a map, you just buy that stamp, which is like $1, and they get the money, or they get a cut of the money.
Right.
The same system has been applied to CSGO.
Let's be clear, they don't get the money; they get a cut. Like,
Exactly.
Valve is in there getting their cut too.
But if they buy several stamps, that money stacks up.
Sure.
'Cause I was talking to someone who had made a map for the Halloween update like last year, and he didn't want to say how much, but he just told me he had enough for people to pay his entire college fund. So
Wow.
yeah, that's just. And this year, someone I know actually did get a map added to the recent big update to TF2, so they are also getting a cut from that.
Oh man.
I don't know how. I mean, it's not by
A
himself.
lot.
He did it with a group, but
Still.
I'm pretty sure he's still getting a cut from that. So like,
Yeah.
that's the one thing I'll give them, at least Valve in that. They'll at least give the community people a cut. Though I've heard recently the cut has been getting smaller.
Right.
I'm not sure how much is now, but they are getting some money back from that. So I can kind of go with that. It's like, hey, I like this guy. I like his stuff. I'll pay this much to give him money.
Right. And they've moved further and further away from that, sadly, as time has gone on. So
Well, I mean, they still do that every now and then with like in CS:GO they've added
Yeah.
like the sticker system along with
Right.
the skins.
and they have
like-
like the autograph stuff in Dota, yeah, et cetera, et cetera. But let's
In conclusion,
in
loot
conclusion,
boxes are terrible, tedious psychological manipulation that shouldn't be in video games. And fuck
in
you.
conclusion,
Why do we keep skipping things?
despite the fact that all this huge stuff blew up and potentially loot boxes are going to be wiped from video games, like in the US and the UK and the
I
EU,
fucking
that's what they're
hope
going
so.
for. Despite that, EA has learned approximately nothing from all this fiasco. Because what happened, Game On?
Oh boy. So, in last week, a little game called UFC 3 had come out for like a beta.
EA
If
Sports, UFC, to be clear.
EA Sports presents UFC 3. So what people have kind of figured out is that there's a system in there where you can just buy stuff to get your dudes like buffed up and ready to fight online, straight from the get-go. From crates, stuff
So,
like that.
suffice to say, the way that these games work are, and this is my experience from having played like the first one and also some other UFC games. You get techniques, you get fighters, you get all this stuff, and typically the way you earn all that stuff is through in-game stuff, right? So it's like, oh, I go punch a punching bag with my dude in training mode, I press A or whatever, and that makes my guy stronger, right? Or, oh, I unlocked a kickboxing head kick, and I do a kickboxing head kick, and that's it. In EA Sports UFC 3, I'm going to read, this is a quote from this article we have here, which we'll link afterwards. Every single technique, ability, fighter, and stat roll is entirely acquired and upgraded through the loot box system. A brand new player, fresh out of the tutorials, can dump $1,000 into the game, acquire the rarest loot drops, and immediately jump into online competition with a beastly custom fighter that has an exceedingly large health pool, vastly improved stamina, and substantially stronger strikes than the average player who simply pays the $60 price of admission. The higher the rarity of the item, the more significant the overall improvement. Pressing the square button to throw a punch at an opponent, quite literally the simplest and most obvious mechanic in an MMA game, perfectly exemplifies the absurdity of the microtransactions in question. A base level jab will do minimal damage to online opponents. However, a fighter that purchases a loot box and acquires a 5-star rarity level jab will not only have a more efficient and powerful technique in combat, but will also be treated to a host of stat increases in all regards, making their player undeniably better in every scenario.
Well, shit.
And also, they have this thing called UFC 3's Ultimate Team Mode, which very much sounds to me like the Ultimate Team modes in other EA Sports games, where you unlock player cards for different actual athletes.
Yeah, this is the exact same system that's
Right.
used in FIFA and Madden.
And I have a friend who plays Madden, and I've seen this system in action, and it's literally like, yo, you got the 96 rated whoever, he's the best one.
It's kind of like fantasy football, but with cards.
Right, but the difference is it's like fantasy football, except even if you get the player, you might get the bronze version, and he sucks. But if you get the 2001 fucking diamond ruby cocksucker version, that guy, he's got the stats.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's my favorite guy. That's my guy. His cocksucker version.
So, if I can break away from that just a moment, because apparently, because of the whole Battlefront 2 bullshit, the people who are playing FIFA decided to boycott a little bit.
Yep,
Of that
I heard about that.
Yeah, that was the thing that happened. Where they're like, you know what, fuck you. And they started not to bother with the mode.
They specifically boycotted on Black Friday, which is when there are like sales on the cards or whatever, and etc. So, yeah.
So yeah, things are happening.
But yeah, suffice to say, EA has learned nothing from this entire fiasco and is actually doing it even worse now than before.
Oh, and also, there's this other company that did the exact fucking same thing EA did with Battlefront 2, called Hi-Rez. Do you know who Hi-Rez are?
Yeah, Hi-Rez
Yes.
Studios. Yep,
They made that.
Smite.
They made that really cool game, Tribes Ascend, and then they killed it to try to make a bunch of money on a MOBA.
Yeah, Smite. Yeah.
And now they have a game called Paladins, which,
Yeah,
from what I
Paladins,
can
love that
tell,
game.
is basically Overwatch.
No, it's definitely very distinctly different copyright-wise.
I don't. But
Battleborn,
yeah, they
actually.
implemented like a whole like card system where you have to like level up cards and get duplicates to level the cards up, and it's all like a loot box thing. And it's
Isn't
literally
Paladins free to play though?
just the same way as Battlefront
Like the big
2.
difference?
Yes, it is free to play, but they did like they released this literally after everyone got mad at EA for this.
Basically,
Oh.
what we're trying to say is game studios can no longer afford to release games at $60, and they should figure out a better way to figure
No, they
out that
can
cost.
afford to do it because EA told their investors, "Don't worry, us taking the microtransactions out won't affect our income at all."
Depends on
Yeah,
the
because
company.
they were probably lying so that they could do it and not have people be upset
That
about
No,
it.
too,
they're
and
not going to
also-
lie to their investors. Those are the only fucking people they're going to be actually honest with.
Here's the thing.
Hey, I got news for you, buddy.
They're not honest to anyone. Two, the real secret is that it doesn't matter. Like, the reality is, however much they pay their shareholders or whatever, games are inflating in price, right? Like, an indie game right now, like, look at Owlboy. This is my favorite example. Owlboy is made by, like, one guy, wasn't it? It was some absurd amount of people. It's like 2 people made Owlboy. That game's like probably an 8-hour, extremely well animated, tons of artistic assets, great music, etc. project that costs like $15 on Steam, which is just absurd. Like, I mean, that guy can't be making money out of all the time he spent on that. And game prices haven't inflated at all, along with the production costs of games. Now, are a lot of those production costs at big AAA companies going to shareholders and CEOs and stuff? Absolutely. But I would still say that probably the price of games should have gone up and hasn't.
They kind of have, because there's these things called season passes.
Right. So, but what they're doing
No, we're
is
talking baseline.
we're talking the
price.
baseline
But
price
you,
and the
you basically, if you buy a multiplayer game, you need the season pass if you want to fucking play it.
questionably, like, you could easily just play the base product of Destiny, or for example, Destiny 2, and then not ever get any of the expansion content.
Publishers like whine and say like, "Oh, we can't afford to like we need the microtransactions and shit. They don't. They really don't. They just want more money. That's it.
It totally depends, I think. So,
no,
point
they
is,
just want more of your fucking
and I will
money.
say 100%, moving to 4K, everything being 1080, all that stuff. I mean, think about it. Games cost $60 back when we were still doing 480 or 640 by 480 shit on PS2s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or on PS1s even. And now they're still costing 60 and we're rolling out 4K assets and stuff. That takes more time, more effort, more everything. So the fact that the price of games hasn't gone up is totally an issue. And the way that they're solving it is bad.
Well, I mean, it varies, to be honest, because I remember, like, SNES cards costing like $60 to $80.
Yeah, exactly. Some SNES games used to, or even ignore SNES games. I wanted a Neo Geo Pocket when I was a kid, and Neo Geo Pocket games used to cost $80 sometimes.
Oh, Pocket? I were talking, like,
No, Neo Geo Pocket. Neo Geo actual
I wanted
games
a Neo Geo cabinet as a child in my home.
Like, I think I remember, like, hearing, like, stories of, like, I think it was, like, Final Fantasy 3 or 6, whatever. Like $100, $110.
Yeah, totally. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So they need to come up with a new solution because this loot box stuff people are catching on. All right, we need to move on from this because this is a hot topic, but we've talked it as much to death as we can.
Podcast title: Ask me about my loot box.
Ask me about my rarity chances.
I will say, if you want to hear more about this, they did go into a lot of detail on the Giant Bombcast this week.
They sure did. Which this week would be the week of December.
The one that came out
1st.
on... No, the Bombcast that came out on November 28th.
Wasn't it the 30th? But maybe you're right. Yeah.
That week.
The Bombcast is Tuesday.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
You're thinking of the Beastcast, which I haven't listened to yet, so...
All right. So...
Let's move on. Please.
Never.
Hey, you ever been doxxed on the internet?
Define doxxed, because there was an incident, but I don't know if it counts as doxing.
Doxing
exactly.
is when someone finds out your real identity and your home address and all that garbage, and then they show it to everyone.
Okay, not that.
That's good.
But I did have somebody fly to somebody else's home, silly string them in the face, and then post a video about it online, which I then took, re-uploaded so they could never delete it, and then they got into my Amazon account and ordered a whole bunch of shit with my credit card.
I don't know about that last part.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Fuck that guy.
Everyone's favorite Twitter account, which we even talked about on our episode, which we asked, hey, what's your favorite Twitter account? At Drill, D-R-I-L, was doxxed recently. And the reason this matters is because Drill has been an account that is sort of this... What's the word that I should use?
Surrealist nightmare?
Celestial, like, omnipotent, just extremely inhuman and, irreplaceably different account that you can't put a face to, except for Jack Nicholson smiling with sunglasses on.
But also extremely low resolution. Jack Nicholson smiling with
very
sunglasses
low
on.
res. Like less than 240 by whatever, and.
Less than 75 by 75.
He got doxxed, and just like in the Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, when his mask fell off, instead of everyone clamoring to find out his identity, the internet came together and gave him his mask back to put back on, and basically buried that shit on the internet because they were like, no, we don't want to know who Drill is. And, the people who did it got smoked, so...
And also, we're Homestuck fans, which I think is a little strange.
So, there's a collaboration going on with, what's his name, Hussey?
I don't know.
The Homestuck guy. Drill.
Andrew Bussey.
Yeah. With him, Drill, and someone else. This thing with a comic.
Okay.
And apparently they did an AMA on Reddit. And there's something from that. That probably could be why.
Alright, so, but, why, though?
I actually don't know the details. I just realized that was the thing that happened, and when, Homestuck fans, they are very pissy about the thing.
No, I just mean, why would you do this?
Money?
But what money do you get from doxing Drill?
Oh, Homestuck fans, I thought, I don't know what the fuck they did it for. I think it's just pissy.
So, Homestuck fans how can I explain this delicately? 'Cause
They're
I
like
don't wanna,
Undertale
be mean
fans.
to them.
They're the same
are-
thing. They are the same thing.
I mean, that's where Undertale came from. But anyway, they're like the kind of people who go as far as they can trying to find something out, and then will be like, "Oh shit, I found Drill's identity."
But they went too far this time, and everyone decided, no, we don't want to know. Not only do we not
Yeah, I
care,
mean-
we actually actively don't want to know, and also shut up. And so they made them do that. And, this is one of those few moments where I feel like, the internet did right by itself. I don't need to know who Drill is. I actually missed this whole debacle until afterwards, and I was thoroughly happy with that, because I never found out who Drill is, and I still don't want to know.
Yeah, I also didn't read into who Drill is because I don't want to know. It's like part of the magic is not knowing.
Right. It's like the best way that I can equate it for a more pop culture-y example is like when you find out who is behind the Gorillaz or Daft Punk. Like, you don't want to know who's behind those bands, but then you find out.
Well, so first of all, I was a huge Blur fan before Gorillaz even started, so I kind of always knew.
Sure, okay, but
but here's a good one. So, y'all are familiar with Drew from Toothpaste for Dinner, right?
Kinda.
I have no idea about those words you just said, but I'm gonna say sure.
Okay, well, he did a daily, one-panel webcomic thing that was just kind of, goofy and non sequitur, but he did music under the name Compressor, and nobody knew that it was him for, 10 years. Nobody knew who Compressor was.
And they were just like, he's the Compressor.
Yeah, he's Compressor. Well, I think he revealed it after a while, because he wanted to, I don't know what
I know what this
remember.
comic
This was a long
is,
time
but
ago.
I didn't realize that this... Okay, yeah.
Yeah. This is the guy who is always posting tweets like, show up to the dog semen bank in 10 minutes if you want an ass kicking.
Yep. Which is a very good tweet.
That's not actually what the tweet is.
No,
but,
I know, but yeah, sure.
The actual tweet's better. Go find it. It's pretty good.
Hey, speaking of really dumb shit that happened on the internet because of a bunch of dumb people.
This is my favorite. Oh my god. Holy shit. So, y'all, listen. So, how do you feel about onions? How do you feel about onions?
Yeah,
you ever
about
just,
that.
taken a bite out of a raw onion because you could?
I have done that.
Ugh.
What the fuck is
Hey,
wrong
have
with
you ever eaten a whole raw onion?
No, I haven't done that. But you
Yeah,
ever been curious?
That is the
just
most unpleasant thing I've done in my life.
Wow, yeah, that
I
sounds
actually
like a nightmare.
very strongly despise raw onion, and I can only do cooked onion.
Oh, I like raw onion and salads and stuff. But here's the thing.
No way.
Oh, sandwiches? Oh, delicious.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
But I have had that moment where it's like, all right, it's time. I'm old enough. I'm gonna bite into this raw onion, and it's bad.
No.
It's bad though.
Don't.
It's real spicy.
Just don't.
It's real spicy, and it don't taste like much aside from spicy. So
Yeah, after you eat a whole one, everything in your body feels like it's on fire.
yeah, that's why I wouldn't eat a whole one. But even just one big bite is enough. That's too much already.
Okay, but what if you ran it through your Jack LaLanne power juicer and then drank it?
I'm listening. But you don't do that more than once, right?
yeah.
That's one of those things that's like, okay, I'm an adolescent. Let's bite into a raw onion. Okay, this was terrible. I'll never do it again. Unless
you're a member of the alt-right,
Oh,
who are very obsessed with increasing their testosterone levels for weird
that's
reasons.
weird. I wonder why, men's rights activists.
So on a 4chan board that shall remain nameless because
again,
it is a
what a
bad place that
surprise.
you should not go, somebody, I don't know if this was a joke that got out of hand or if somebody actually
I don't
believed
think
this.
this
I
is a
never found out, but somebody posted that if you drink raw, just straight onion juice, it'll increase your testosterone levels, which is, by the way, not true.
What's onion juice? Because
So it's if you... So when I was working at Panera, when you would slice up the onion, all the drippings that would come out.
yeah. Let me just Google how to juice an onion real quick.
All right, to juice an onion, you buy a $800 wireless juicer.
Step 1: spend 8 months training your
Buy a
hands with those
juicero.
squeezy things. You know, the squeezy
Yeah.
with the springs. Step 2: squeeze
No.
onion.
Actually, I don't know. I thought you meant the pointy thing that you rub fruit into.
No, that's
No,
for juicing.
no.
I don't want that.
That is for
Yeah,
juicing.
We're
onion.
trying to get testosterone. You got to train your hands with grip strength until you can squeeze the juice out of the onion.
No, you have to awkwardly hold one of those juicers above a glass and then just rub that onion. Just twist the onion and get that sweet onion juice.
So they drank onion juice, and Miko hit me with a couple quotes.
Okay, so I'm just gonna read this initial post because it's really, really good. Okay, this is kind of a long one, so don't interrupt me until I'm done. This initial post that I'm reading is very, very long. Okay. Title: Individual and Political Consequences of Onion Juice, posted by Anonymous. 11/19/2017. Time and time again, science has confirmed that onion and its juice boost testosterone levels, sometimes threefold. So, I attempted to drink a single cup of onion juice. Needless to say, consuming onion juice was a trying, though masculine experience, and my entire home smells as if an unclean NFL locker room and Mexican kitchen converged upon a single point. I can feel the onion juice flowing through my body, coming into contact with every organ, every cell, and every bodily fluid. I don't think I'm going to be able to leave the house for a week. I tried taking a shower, but the steam combined with the onion odor emanating from my body only exacerbated the problem. Did I mention I peppered onion powder in the onion juice? Yeah, right?
That's even
Though
worse.
this has been an overwhelming experience, I feel far more energetic, youthful, and viral.
Virile.
I might try this.
No, I like viral.
Yeah, whatever.
No, I like that.
Yeah, viral.
I'm feeling viral as fuck right now.
Yeah, I got the onion virus.
This did go viral. This did go viral on the internet.
That's actually the new Black Plague. It's the onion virus.
No, stop. I gotta finish this post, so...
Oh, I thought you were done.
I might... Stop talking. No, not even a little. I might try this once or twice more to get the full experience. I'm in need of a testosterone boost, and thus am willing to smell like an onion for a few weeks or months.
It's a small price to pay.
Now, this could be revolutionary if Paul jumped on board with our new discovery. With increased testosterone levels, we could reassert ourselves as a force in the political world, in society, in our communities, in the world. Who would have thought that onion juice would restore traditionalism to the world? No wonder the polls seem so strong in 2017. They consume the most onion out of any nation in the world, and it shows. And at the end of the day, a juice filled with the juice of a little root plant saved Western civilization. Now, here's why I like this post. 1, it's completely ridiculous.
Yes.
2, the first sentence, science has confirmed that onion juice boosts testosterone levels. Actually, it kind of hasn't in any meaningful way.
No, but time and again, I have these charts that show if I fuck a raw onion, I become stronger.
So, actually, what this is based on is, there was one study done, I don't remember the date.
Time and again.
Just one. On rats, where they gave them onion and they ejaculated more, and that was kind of it. That was the extent of what they found out.
Here's the thing about, here's a neat fact about those kind of studies, is, do you know why there's so many, like, ridiculous studies, and there's so many of just, like, one of them being done?
Because people get paid to do them.
Yes, because,
because you have to do stupid studies like that to get a PhD.
No, it's because, like, people don't want to pay money for things that have already been done. So, to get money for scientific studies, they have to find something new. But the whole point of science is to do the same thing over and over again, but nobody wants to pay for that. So now we just have everything gives you cancer, and onions make you come more, I guess. That's about it.
I don't think they do. I'm just going to throw that out there. I don't think they do.
By science. By a science. A single science. Yes.
There's one specific quote in this I just wanted to read, which is a post from someone, which is someone responding to that person saying, I just tried to eat a raw onion and almost puked. I bit into it like an apple and was instantly filled with burning regret. I had to spit it into the garbage. My mouth is still on fire. Which, that totally sums up my experience of doing that.
I fucking ate a whole raw onion and I didn't gag once, motherfucker.
I'm proud of you.
Afterwards,
I bet your testosterone
that is when I was
control.
like, for hours, I just felt like I was fucking, like, burning alive from the inside.
Oh, man. Oh, gosh, that's good. Alright,
So what I do like about this is that now I will be able to smell an alt-right idiot shithead before they even open their mouth, so I can avoid them. It's gonna be great.
You smell like a fart on fire.
The more I think about this, the more this has to be just someone like just fucking up its poll, whatever.
So here's the thing: is some posts were like that where they're like, "This has to be a hoax. This is probably some leftist invasion," and then other people were like, "Shut the fuck up. This is a testosterone factory."
This has to be. Yep, that has to be a joke. Because let's face
I mean,
even all of the board that should not be named hates poll. Poll is like this.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea. Like, I never got a confirmation one way or the other of what happened, but this was really funny.
Either way, people are gonna the bad people are gonna smell bad.
Whether this is a joke or real, I laughed very hard at this. So.
I actually have this new tip for any alt-right people listening.
Go on, yeah.
First off, go fuck yourself, and second
Yep,
off,
sure. That's
correct, accurate.
if you take raw onion juice, and then mix every type of pepper into it too, all juice from the peppers, pure juice. It's got to all be juice, and just mix it together. And you take a hollow sounding rod and you insert it into your urethra, and then you pour it in there. It makes you more virile and fertile, and you'll be able to have all the Nazi children you want.
That makes sense because you're pouring it in your penis.
And then you can bring them to your heroes who will probably molest your children because they're all fucking child molesters.
I have bad news, though. I think our alt-right viewership is probably spectacularly low.
I think it might be as low as it can possibly be.
Would have thought.
Actually. Because we have like 24 listeners, and I think I'm following all of them on Twitter. So...
All right.
Maybe no one in our Discord.
Hey.
Oh, there's a handful in our Discord.
Okay, good. Anyway,
speaking of things going limp and shutting down.
Now, here's the thing. I just want to preface this with, I thought this shut down about 4 years ago.
Hey, there's a good reason for that.
So
I'll
they
tell you
actually... Why. Yeah.
In 2012,
I remember
they
it was
tried to
like
do
a
this.
whole big event thing where they were like, we're shutting the servers down, everybody.
Well, let's say what it is first
Yes,
before we get into that.
So,
So
Demon Souls, the game,
the only good Souls
the precursor. Okay, the precursor to Dark Souls, for PS3, is finally, after how long ago was this game released?
Oh god, like 2007.
It's almost a decade, but not quite. I think so.
2008. Yeah, 2008. So it will be a decade once this happens.
True. Is finally having its online services shut down. That means that if you don't know what it is, it means that your ability to play with other people, your ability to see messages on the ground that are a thing in that game, your ability to affect world tendency, which is a big thing in that game, all of that is down the drain. Gone.
No, you can still affect world tendency. It's
you can make it black, you just can't make it white anymore. Anyway.
No, you can still make it white. The problem with online was actually it was really hard to make it one or the other.
I think the online world... oh, yeah, you're right. You can still affect it, but the online world tendency stuff won't change anymore because there's no...
Online was always, almost always fucking neutral.
Yeah. It was almost all white. Whatever. Anyway, they're shutting down.
I never played enough Demon Souls to understand.
They're shutting down.
about
The
world
reason why they're
tendency
shutting
and
down is because that game is almost a decade old and, fuck you.
I don't know if anyone plays it anymore, man.
But here's the thing. They tried to do this 6 years ago. In 2012. And what happened? Everyone
people were like, "No, don't
shouted,
do that because we're still playing this video
I'm
game."
still playing." So they went, "Okay," and they left it up for another 6 years.
I mean, I'll give it to them. Like usually in that situation, a company would be like, "All right, we'll leave it on for a few more months," but they're like, "All right, we'll do like half a dozen years.
We'll do another half decade." Yeah.
Fuck it.
So, credit to them. They left it up longer than I could have possibly expected it to. But they are finally shutting it down, which, it's kind of a shame. There were a lot of hackers in that game, if my memory serves right.
Yeah.
I mean, every Souls game has that fucking problem real quick.
The leaderboards were rough. By the time I even played that game, the leaderboards were already rough. And for the record, the time that it actually shuts down is February 28th, 2018.
So, if you guys want to organize a special event where we all play Demon Souls, I
don't have
can't
a PS3
anymore.
anymore. I sold it. Yeah.
I don't have that.
I don't own that video game currently.
But if you go on February 27th or 28th, I bet there will be lots of people on still.
Yeah.
Hacking.
Just like the Miiverse.
Lots of people hacking and ruining your fun.
Speaking of people ruining other people's fun, Miko.
All right, so we're going to do new, kind of a one-off segment, right? It's called Furry Alert. I'm bringing you the latest furry
We say
news.
this is one-off, but why do I suspect this is going to return at some point?
So I just want you to know.
I mean, it'll return at some point.
I want
but
you
it's
to
not
know
gonna be like a
every
regular
time
thing.
I'm gonna wait for this, and I'm gonna ask you about it every single time. I just want you to know that now.
Okay, well, Furry Alert. So right now, currently, ongoing in Chicago at this moment, is something called Midwest FurFest. It is a furry convention where you go and you do fursuit stuff, I guess, if you want. That's not really my thing, but you can also just hang out in your hotel room and get drunk with your friends. And also wear a fursuit while you do that.
And fuck.
But I was trying to be nice about it, but yeah.
Let's be honest. If people get the
There's a lot of
fursuits,
fucking-
they're there for the banging.
Yeah, same. Fucking, pup hoods. Anyway.
Yeah. So don't at me, Bad Dragon table at Midwest FurFest. Anyway, so some idiot Nazi fur got his dumbass arrested because he was wearing a German World War I military outfit, shouting Nazi things, and then got chased out by con security.
Yeah, I heard about this. And in fact, he was shouting a bunch of racist shit, sea-kyling, and goose-stepping in a public environment, which, hey, you can't do that.
Now, he was wearing the Nazi outfit over... Oh, wait, was it a Nazi outfit?
No.
It was World War I, because that would have been a little
makes
too
even
much.
less sense. That's fucking...
Well, no, there's a reason why. I'll tell you. The reason that they wear the World War I stuff is to get away with it. Because if you wear World War II shit, then people go, "Oh, you're
I
being
guess
a Nazi."
if you're fucking just walking around in a literal Nazi outfit, that's kind of a red flag.
So instead, they wear the World War I stuff to get away with it, but this guy didn't really get away with it because then he was like, "I'm just gonna see Kyle and yell a bunch of racist stuff."
Yeah, so he got chased out by con security, and then he got chased into a bush by the police and got arrested.
Into a bush. Oh, and the best part, well, there's a second part to this, but I also like to point out, they had to take him out of his attire and such, because they were like, well, this is some racist shit. And guess what he was wearing underneath that?
Oh, he's naked.
Literally nothing.
He was ass naked in that fursuit.
They covered him in a towel, rather nicely, but he was buck ass naked as they put him into a cop car, which is some good shit.
I fucking wish they drove his ass away in the fursuit. I just wish they just threw him in the back and just drove away.
I don't think you can fit the fursuit in the cop car.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, it's probably an issue.
You can
anyway.
you could fit it if you want, just like you can fit a nice big bad I don't know where I'm going with this.
I hope he swung by the Bad Dragon table before he got arrested. Anyway,
Furry alert too.
Turns out
that is your...
turns out that this guy has caused a lot of problems before, wearing a Confederate flag fursuit to a convention.
It's almost like someone like that is just a problem.
What do you mean a Confederate flag fursuit? Like, what does that even fucking
I think
mean?
I've seen that before.
It was a big deal in 2014 when it
Sure,
happened.
but what do you mean by that?
It's a fursuit that has a Confederate flag pattern on it.
So, like
in the fur.
The fur is just like oh my god.
Like the fur
dude.
is just, that.
Jesus Christ.
Literally that thing that I said.
Man.
Yeah, this thing that I'm about to link you, Michael.
Right, you can send me that and I'll just have that, I guess.
I think I made a joke about it in one of Toddy's East videos that we were doing at the time, because I think this was right before we went to AGDQ for the first time.
I'm sending this just to you because I like you, Mike, and you can have this just to you.
All right, well, this is bad podcast material, so keep the wow.
Yeah, that title on... By the way, no one else can see that, but the title on the image I sent him is "The South Will Yiff Again." And I didn't write that.
Oh, I'm gonna link this shit. Are you kidding me? This is going in.
Just put it in the docket.
Yeah, well, just remind me later. I'll put it in the show notes. Anyway, so item 2 is that somebody brought a fox to Midwest FurFest with the excuse that it is a service animal.
Oh.
Which I then immediately Googled, can foxes be service animals? And it turns out the answer is no, they can't.
That poor fox.
I mean, you can have, a decent amount of animals be service animals, like dogs.
Yeah, but not
and
a fox.
pigs,
And
I think
you
ducks.
have fox, you could have a monkey. I don't know all of them off the top of my head.
It has to be animals that don't freak the fuck out when they're around a lot of people and loud noises.
They also have to,
trained.
help somebody with a disability.
And also not like wild animals that you manage to train to pee in a box or whatever. They have to be like a regular ass animal to be a service animal.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that I Googled, it brought me to the American Disabilities Act website, which told me that a fox cannot be
Let me put it this way.
animal.
They don't even have service cats, so they definitely don't have service foxes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's because cats can't do that. You can't walk around with a cat, man.
You can't walk around with a fox either, as it turns out. And you definitely shouldn't do that if you're going to a hotel with 7,000 people in it.
Probably not.
Yeah, definitely
What if
not.
7,000 people want to pet your fox?
Then you're an idiot for bringing it to a hotel because it's going to get scared.
And then it's going to run around and root in the garbage?
I mean,
maybe.
If you bring your animal because you don't want to leave it home and you set it up and they're okay with it and you just keep it in your room, I guess that's one thing.
No,
but if you're walking around with it, listen,
foxes are going to ruin a hotel room. Please don't do that.
I'm just saying, if you have to, that's better than walking him around where he's going to get freaked out.
Speaking of things that you have to do, what you been gaming this week?
Anime.
All right, I guess that's the podcast. It was good talking to you all.
All right, so, yep.
Bye, everybody.
Episode 13, very nice.
So I guess I'll start. So I played a couple of things. So let me
start at the
let's
start
talk,
here.
Animal Crossing.
No. I want to start. I want you to start at the start. I want to hear about this.
All right. So there was this video game that came out in March. I think it's called Nier Automata. Automata. People pronounce it weird.
The game with the booty robot.
Near anime.
Near banana.
The one with the robots, and you run around and then you fight the other robots. That thing.
The one with the titty bots.
Yeah. So I used my work off from my week off from work to get started on this video game, and guess what? It's good. It feels very good to play.
You like it?
I do. I'm enjoying it. I need to continue it because this week was kind of rough. I didn't have a whole lot of time.
Yeah, you like that?
I had school and then homework and then an economics test, and I didn't do very good on the economics test because economics is hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, but so it's a platinum game. I'm just gonna compare it to compared to Bayonetta. There's a lot less big open fights and more boss fights.
What if I told you also compared to Bayonetta, the combat is a lot simpler?
It is a lot simpler and it is a lot. It feels a lot smoother.
That makes me sad. Actually,
streamlined is the word I would use.
Yeah. It feels very good to just do all the slicey and dicey.
It's easy.
It's more like an action brawler kind of thing instead of a spectacle fighter.
It's further from Devil May Cry than Bayonetta is, but it's more low key. Like you can just
when you punch things, does a thing show up and be like smoking when you do good?
No, but
then
it does
it's not a
number.
spectacle fighter.
No, it doesn't do that. But so something that y'all have probably seen footage of this video game by now, but it does this thing where it switches into bullet hell mode sometimes, and sometimes the camera does not cooperate, and I don't like that. But when the camera does cooperate, it's really cool.
Have you gotten to any of the actual bullet hell segments? I know there's one in the very beginning, but where you're in a ship and you're actually bullet helling it up and such.
So, if you want to know exactly where I am, I got to the robot village, and then I brought them back apart, and then a big explosion happened, and that's where I stopped.
You're about to get into the real meat right there.
Yeah. So the boss I fought in the
carnival
amusement park was kind of yes, the carnival is done. So that boss was very bullet hell-y in a lot of ways because
you gotta jump.
There was also this beam that if you got hit with, you had to do a mini game where you fucking controlled a triangle and shot at a ball. and it was really annoying to get hit by. So I learned not to get hit by it. This is not a real spoiler.
What if I told you that there's a period of hours of this game? So I assume you're gonna try. You know about multiple endings, right?
Yeah, I'm not the kind of person who goes and like 100% stuff, so I don't know how far I'm gonna get.
Well, I have news for you. If you actually want to get the actual story of this game, you still need to beat like 5 endings worth of it. Anyway,
oh no,
it's not as long as it sounds because they get progressively shorter. But
okay,
one of the playthroughs of this game has you basically doing that thing that you just described, where you get hit and then you have to do that mini game as a main mechanic of the fighting.
Oh no.
You don't have to do it. You could theoretically not do it, but you kind of have to because it's a main mechanic of the fighting. So
I don't like that. Well, what I have played so far, I'm enjoying a lot, and I'm going to keep going. We can check back in on this next time.
Having played that game more than you have, that game is really esoteric in the way that a Yoko Taro game often is. Like, there's just...
So that's the other thing is I had never played the first Nier, and I never played Drakengard, so I've never played a Yoko Taro game before.
First Nier...
a new experience to me.
I beat, and is actually pretty... I like that game. But this game is totally easier to access than that game. Gameplay and plot and everything wise. But it still has that unique... There is some awkward shit in this game that feel bad, no good, dookie, bad gameplay. And it's just sort of something that I think is sort of like part of his dev process at this point. Like, have you talked to the map guy?
Maybe?
So there's a guy in the first town that you go to, and basically, the 3D map in that game is garbage, as you may or may not know, having used it.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
If you talk to this guy, one of the options, the dialogue options for him is, hey, the 3D map is real bad. And he says, yeah, we didn't have that much time to do a 3D map because we didn't really think about it till the last minute. So, I guess kind of deal with it.
I mean, there's only a couple of places where there's verticality and you have to worry about it.
You got some game ahead of you. Anyway. I look forward to more of your thoughts on that game because I actually haven't finished that game yet, despite how long ago it came out. But I played a lot of it, and I like that game. But I ran into some stuff.
I also want you to know I've owned it since June.
I may have owned it as long or longer than you, but I've run into some stuff with that game. So I'd like to hear more about it from you as you play more.
All right, so I played a little more Mario, but there's nothing to really talk about there. It's just Mario.
Did you fuck Bowser yet?
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about Mario, but
did you do it before or after the wedding, or both?
No, don't. This is all. We're gonna get.
I can't tell you that.
Miko's married to Bowser right now.
Yeah.
They're
Congratulations! Wait, you didn't invite me to the wedding?
Well,
you were on a podcast while I was getting married.
You were podcasting.
It went up yesterday. You can go listen to it if you want.
I can't believe this. You didn't invite me to the wedding.
Yeah.
You can't say it went up yesterday because this is not going to go anyway.
No, yeah, I know. Whatever. Just shut up. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so played some Mario. No, nothing to talk about there. I played some Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, and I don't like that game. I think it's very bad.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How much of that game have you played?
I played it for 2 days and then stopped. I bounced off very, very hard.
I can understand why you did that, but what if I told you the thing that I like about that game? I've also played. In fact, full transparency, I'm pretty sure everyone on this podcast has actually played this game for the first time.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I know Maggie has. I've given her kudos, and I think Mark has too, right?
I played a bit of it.
What can I say about this game? All right, here's the thing that I feel like this game does right that I wish other Animal Crossings made you do. Actually go to other people's towns and look at shit.
Okay, yes, we've talked about this offline, and I agree with you. I agree with you that it's a good thing that you have to go to another person's shit to see it, and also that you can do it without them explicitly opening their town and having their DS
And most
open.
importantly, you are given a reason to do that. Because
Money.
a lot of the time,
Yeah.
there's these quests where it's like, oh, give someone a kudos, which is just like, you go to someone's thing and you go say, you talk to their player character, their NPC player character there, and go, hey, your shit's dope, and then you leave. And that often will give you an item or whatever if you complete that quest. And the thing is, just having that in the game, like making it so that people have a reason to go to other people's places, I think for me adds a layer that has been missing from Animal Crossing from the beginning for me, which is that I decorate not just for myself. I want other people to see that shit because I think it's cool. So when no one gets to see it, then I'm like, fucking, what is the fucking point of this? I hate it. I wouldn't like, why am I doing this? So to me, that element has kept me playing, but there is no heart in that game.
Yeah, that's kind of why I hate it. It's like very soulless. There's like no town to run around, first of all.
There's no
which is
anywhere to
very
run around.
Crappy. It's like you go on a mini map and you say, okay, I'm gonna go to the beach, which is now a 64 by 64 square place, and then this person wants a fish, so I guess I'm just gonna hand them a fish and then leave.
The only reason you
And
go
then-
places is to
Yeah.
give people item or collect item to give people. That's the only reason you go to any place. And
Mhm.
or you know, there's like, oh, you can go to the market to buy clothes or an item for your house. And even the dialogue is just dry. It's like you walk up to a guy,
Yeah, they don't.
There's a lot of reused stuff too.
right, and they have their catchphrase that they say at the end of every sentence, like yippee or spadoo or whatever the fuck they say. But when you talk to them, it's just like, hey, thanks for giving me that fish, spadoo. And then after you talk to them for a while, you're like, hey, come to my camp. And they're like, oh, I'd love to come to your camp. Wow, that sounds so nice. Oh my gosh. Spadoo. By the way, could you spend about 10K on couches and beds and stuff before I come? Because I really won't come unless you do that.
I really won't show up to your house unless there's a very, very specific couch that I can
And
sit
then
on.
when I show up, I'm just gonna kind of like sit on all your chairs and maybe take a nap while you're there, and then I'm gonna leave.
Mhm.
You're like, okay, cool. So there's no interaction with any of the NPCs except for buy them shit, give them shit, or they give you shit. That's it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it's just lifeless. It's like, ugh. I thought this game there was a chance before this came out where I just thought there was a way, and the platform I don't feel like is a bad thing. Like I feel like there's a way to make it work on mobile, but this was not it.
Yeah, this was not good. But what did happen is that I bounced off of this and I was like, I really do want an Animal Crossing though. So I fired up New Leaf again.
So we talk about hold on. So the reason you guys talk, like, you mentioned, like, you wanted to play Animal Crossing for real was because of the phone game. Which means, like, because I remember, I think it was a year ago when they released their first mobile game, they wanted to, like, the mobile titles are just there to advertise the main titles. Or at least get some...
Yeah, so I fully expect we're getting an Animal Crossing on the Switch in the next year or two.
Mm-hmm. Because, like, with Mario Run, that's, like, Mario would expect.
Well, I mean, Mario games come out all the time.
Exactly.
Right?
And
but, like, the Fire Emblem, I think, was definitely, like, a testing the waters to see if people were ready for a
Fire
new
Emblem
game
precursed
kind of
Echoes, totally.
yeah. And now we have Animal Crossing, which is, so it's just a matter of time.
Yeah. So I did pick up New Leaf again. I will say there are a couple of things in that game that, because it came out so long ago in 2013, that I definitely can see how there is a lot of room to improve that video game. But I still like it a lot better than Pocket Camp. So, like, for example, you can stack items in New Leaf, but it doesn't happen automatically, so your inventory still fills up very quickly. You are limited to 99,999 bells in your bell pouch, so if you have more than that, it takes up an inventory slot, which is some bullshit.
Eat shit.
Yeah, so if I go to the island and I start collecting beetles to pay off my loan, because that's how you do it. Is you go to the island and you get all the beetles, and then you sell it at retail for $1 million, and then you say, "Fuck you, Tom Nook. Here's your money, you fucking asshole."
And he says more.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Okay, you want to expand your house?" And I'm like, "Yes." And they've also done minor improvements since I stopped playing. Like, for example, you can now, if you had more than one closet in your home, they were all interconnected, and adding more didn't give you more space, which kind of sucked. So now you can get a, like, hidden storage room, which is basically you go in your house and you tap a thing on the lower screen and it just opens a big-ass inventory thing where you could just store as much shit as you want.
The pocket dimension.
Yeah, it's still finite, but it's, like,
more.
A lot of space. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, yeah, that was pretty cool when I did that. And then I, for some reason, had a room that was just full of hats. I don't really understand. But I took all of those hats and I put them in the secret storage room. So,
what about what happened to the hat room then?
It is now just a room full of more stuff that is actually furniture.
Hat room's cooler. You should do like...
Well, whatever.
You should do like Swery did. Or was it Swery? I forget. I think it was Swery who, for his pocket camp, he put a bunch of fencing, then he put a desk with a phone on it.
Jail.
No, then he put a desk with a phone on it, and then he put a chair in front of each one, so he gave the animals a job. So now they're on telephone operators.
Wait, no, who was it then that made jail?
It was both of them. He did that, and then he evolved.
Oh, he did both of them. Okay. Okay, yeah. So, having a job is like prison. Yeah. Straight from Swery. You can't even deny it. Yeah. Capitalism.
Capitalism is a prison for all our souls.
I got your number.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that game did for me, is it made me want to actually play actual Animal Crossing, which I can't play New Leaf, so... Aha!
No, you're playing the old one instead. You're playing Wild World? Is that the name? I forget.
She was trying to play City Folk, but then that had wrong problems.
I did get City Folk
City
fine.
Folk.
First of all, there is a Animal Crossing game that lets you go to people's town without them having to be online. It's the GameCube one. Hello. You put in the other you put in other thing, and then there you
still don't have a reason to go. That's the problem.
I also want to say that I don't want to have to go to other people's towns, because I don't do that, really.
No, it's not about having to go. I just feel like they should give you a reason.
Yeah, but if they give you, like, an actual reason that's, like, unique, then you have to go to do that thing.
No, you don't. Just give it a thing where it's like, hey, if you go, and you go here, then you have a chance at bringing one of their animals to your town. Not that it'll take it away from their town, but you might get the animal your town. Or, like...
I'm pretty sure that happens.
I don't think so. Or you could just have, like, a really simple thing where, like, literally just bring the kudo system over, because that shit is perfectly fine. Anyway. Give me Animal Crossing Switch. That's the...
Yes, please.
That's the ultimate...
I want it.
Also, if someone could just do me a favor and give me a Switch, that would be nice. Thank you. I will take a Switch at some point, thanks.
Speaking of video games, what did you do?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, now here's the thing about video games. Is I honestly don't remember the entire week at all. So, I might have played video games at some point. Or I might have just woken up from a coma, to be honest. I don't really know at this point.
MS Flight Sim 95, good game. Love that game. I like the textures that the ground is.
Did I play a game this week?
I love The Witcher 1 Enhanced Edition. Good game.
The fuck are you looking at? What?
What? Huh? No, I'm just naming games while you're thinking about it.
I mean, hey, look, it's Team Fortress 2, the thing we talked about. I got 69 hours played, and the last time I played, the last time I played was in 2009.
Oh, I have 1,000 hours in TF2, and I think I stopped in 2013.
Yeah, I don't think I really played anything like meaningful.
That's fine. You don't have to play video games. Mark, what did you play?
I play Sleep.
That's a good video game.
I played that too. That's my favorite.
It's a real good video game. Oh, man.
Yep, 40 winks on the PlayStation 1.
How many hours you got in that video game?
Too many to count. I want to look at my Steam profile.
Oh, man. You got any Chivos?
About 4 a night. So
You got any sleep Chivos?
Is there any? I don't know. I have to look again.
Yeah, there's the 48 hours, 72 hours.
Oh god. Well, I've been busy this whole week, so I haven't been trying to play anything. And I kind of forgot everything from last week.
Good shit,
So,
good shit.
that's why I link you a document so you can write it down. God damn it!
Look, man, I've been busy.
I have never taken notes in my fucking life, and
That's
I'm sure
okay.
not
We're gonna run
start
super
now.
long on this podcast anyway, so I'm gonna
So
go.
I'm ready to speed this up.
I played video games this week. One of them was Animal Crossing Mobile, which we already talked about. But one of them is another game that
Oh yeah,
Nico
I did
mentioned.
play that, I guess. That's really it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we already talked
But
about
one
that.
of them
so.
is another game that Miko mentioned, but that I got to play for the first time, which is the Mario. And hey, you guys, what if I told you a secret? Almost every 3D Mario game isn't very good.
Wow.
And
Wow. Okay.
and hear me out. Hear me out. Mario Galaxy is boring and it sucks. Mario Sunshine is okay. It's mediocre.
It's the best Mario game
Mario
ever made,
64 is pretty good. It's
Oh,
it's
that's bad.
it's iconic and I have nostalgia for it.
really. It plays
if-
and controls badly.
But if you played it now, you wouldn't like. But yeah, if you played it now, it's rough.
Exactly.
I played Mario. We played Mario 64 a few
Yeah, and
weeks
it's
ago
rough.
in the
Yeah,
it's
online
rough.
Mario.
That was the first time I
Mac.
fucking launched that game.
Okay. And all that 3D, 2DS, Super Mario World for Wii U, whatever, all that stuff is garbage. So, Mario Odyssey is actually, like, really good. It's, like, a really good Mario game. It's probably the best Mario game I've played since Mario 64. And I'm talking about played, like, for the first time. Because I don't really like Galaxy very much. I think there's a lot of merit to Galaxy. You know, I don't actually think it's bad.
So I've got about 40 videos you can watch.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
2011. Yeah, you want to go have a good time with Mario.
I don't actually
That's where
think
you do
that
it.
game is bad, but I never was deeply into it. I didn't really like the planet mechanic much, and it just didn't do a lot for me. Like, you know, it's not a bad Mario game, but it's not great to me. And this is way better than that. This is like really, really good Mario. Like from second one, it's some good Mario. So I beat it. I saw credits for the first time. Let me ask you a question, people who have played this Mario game, so Game Bun and Miko. How many moons did you have when you saw credits for the first time?
I don't remember.
Just give me like an estimate, if you can try to like think about it.
I was trying to
I
get to
mean-
the I was trying to at least finish the story.
Mm.
So I only got like I didn't get like the minimum required moons. I got like that, probably a couple more.
Mm.
So I just don't remember.
So what is it like? I think it's like 200 and something. You have to have minimum-ish, something around
I
there.
think it might be. I think it might be a flat 200 is the
Right.
requirement.
So
I
you
forget.
had like what, like 240 to
I had 230 or
Yeah.
something like that. I don't remember
around
exactly.
there. I had over 400 and something moons by the time that I finished the game.
Mm.
The only world that I didn't collect every single available moon that I could get before I moved on was the water world, because fuck that place.
Yeah.
And
I'm with
to be
you.
clear, I'm specifically talking about is it
The Lake Kingdom.
no, Bubble Fuck. In fact, I might
Bubble Fuck
I might
Kingdom?
I might have even gone back and gotten some and ultimately done that, but yeah, it's like Bubble.
The seaside.
It's
the
Bubble
beach
Bubble
one.
Fuck
The
Kingdom.
beach one, Bubble Fuck.
Yeah,
Kingdom?
Bubble-
Yeah.
Bubble Beach fuck
Yeah,
party.
we're
The lake one I actually didn't mind.
Bubble Beach Fuck. I'm just writing
Bubble
the episode
Beach
title
Fuck
down now
Kingdom,
so I don't
yeah.
forget.
Bubbling Peaches
Bubble
fuck
Beach
party.
fuck
Wait, no,
Party Kingdom.
Bubble, Meat, and Fuck Beach Kingdom. Anyway,
I've already written
Well,
it down. It's in
okay.
stone. It's
yeah.
too late.
The lake one I didn't mind because there actually weren't that many underwater parts. There was plenty of not underwater stuff, and the lake one had all the cool zipper shit in it.
Yeah, that was a neat
So
mechanic.
yeah, like, man, that game is just the possession stuff. Almost all of it, I thought was really good and like satisfying to do. Really, the only world that didn't click with me that I felt like, man, they're making me do a lot of possession of this one thing and I don't like it, is Food Town, where you have to go in the lava as a fire. That was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, just straight up, that was bad. Not even like, oh, it would control bad or something like that. It was just boring. Like there wasn't a. It was like, okay, this is this.
Yeah, because you become the Potaboo, and then you have to go traverse huge swaths of the map where there is nothing.
Yeah, and also just like, oh, do a platforming challenge as Potaboo, but it's not hard. It's just the same.
You say that, but there's a section, there's a particular room that is actually kind of bullshit.
There is one that was kind of a little annoying, but like it didn't take me that
I don't
many
know
tries.
if you guys are talking post game or what, but I'm gonna tell you, I collected every available moon in that world before leaving. So the only ones I didn't collect were ones you have to be in post game to get, and I didn't think any of it was hard. So that's just me.
It is probably post game because, like, I will admit, most of the moons early on are kind of easy to get. It's when the post game moons show up and you're like, uh-oh.
There's a couple moons in there throughout the world. Okay, so this is what I actually wanted to discuss. So I did this for every world, and for most of them, it was totally fun and great. And actually, for the most part, I didn't look shit up at all. I either just got them. For the most part, I just got most of them, and then usually I would then do Toad and the Parrot to try to get the other ones. And then if I really couldn't find one, then I would look it up. Right. So there is a moon that if you use Toad and the Parrot, it's not too hard to find. But if you did not use Toad and the Parrot and you did not look it up, I genuinely don't think anyone would have ever found this, because I just don't understand how you wouldn't find it. It's so extremely unobvious. So this is a spoiler for anyone listening, but Bowser Kingdom, right? Japantown.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You come in, you're at the Odyssey, right?
Uh-huh.
This is technically the first moon you could get in the level. It's the first available moon. There is a railing surrounding the area where the Odyssey is. Okay? On the railing, along at certain intervals, there are Bowser heads that are like posts on the railing.
Mm-hmm.
One of the Bowser heads, and you could barely see them. They're not big. One of the Bowser heads is facing the opposite direction of all the other ones. You have to throw your hat on that and then leave it spinning for a few seconds, and it blows out fire, and then a moon pops out. But it's like so innocuous and hard to see, and just like, even if you look straight at it, if your camera was moving, you wouldn't even fucking notice that shit at all. And I just thought, man, like that was the only moon that I really felt like, oh, there's no way you could find this without using Toad and the Parrot to find it, because you would never keep your camera there long enough to see that shit. And that being said, that was the only one I felt like that for. Almost all the rest of the moons, I felt like, oh, I could have found that. Like, I felt stupid a lot of the time when I would like use Toad or the Parrot or look it up, because I would just be like, oh shit, oh man, of course there would be one there. And yeah, I fucking, that game is really good. The post-credit thing that you see after you beat the game credits and go to the place that you go to is dope. And I can't wait I might actually 100% the moons in that game, but probably not the coins. Because there's a couple worlds where I had like 97 out of 100 coins, or like, 47 out of 50 coins, and I was just like, nah, I don't care. But but I might actually 100% the moons in that game, which is something I do for almost no games. So yeah, that game is fucking dope, dude.
It's very good.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, that is like some game of the year material shit. Like that's like, oh man.
You just said the magic words, and that's a discussion we're gonna have to have
true.
later,
But to release that and Zelda in the same year, like, whoa, dude. And then really quickly, I just want to mention, I'm not going to mention one of the other games I played, but I just want to mention Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which just came out. I played that for the first time today. Have you ever seen Xenoblade Chronicles 1 at all in any context?
I've been in that game.
Okay, cool. Miko? Zum?
I've seen some of it through video, but I've never played.
Maggie?
Is that the robot one?
It's rhyme time!
That doesn't help. I don't know
So
what that
this
means.
is the power of the Monado.
I don't know what that means, man.
The Monado can't hurt people.
Is that the Nintendo RPG thing with the mechs?
You're just gonna...
Yes.
Yes.
Alright, there you go. That's fucking all you had to
And
say.
the big pink
yeah,
sword.
I saw
Dunban.
a trailer like 12 years ago or whatever the fuck.
Dunban.
Well, I mean, it came out on the Wii,
Yeah.
so it's pretty old.
If you thought... I'm having fun with it, whatever. If you thought the voice acting in the first Xenoblade Chronicles was rough and very English, guess what? You fucking wrong, homie, because they stepped it up a notch.
Oh, hell yeah.
It is 3 times as English. It's like not even English. It's like English surrounding territories, like hard Welsh, like fucking like coming at you Scottish, like all that. Plus, it is PS1 era voice acting. Like, you know what?
Oh, so it's like British Jill Sandwich.
You know when someone like says some shit in a PS1 game and it's just so stilted, like there's just a pause before and after.
Yeah, actually, that's why I bring up Resident Evil 1 because it's probably the perfect.
Yeah,
example,
that is literally the perfect example.
where
Like
every line in that game, people focus on the "you were almost a Jill Sandwich" line, but like
Barry.
Chris
Barry.
going, "Wait, don't open that door."
Barry.
don't open that door.
Fuck me, Barry.
That kind of thing. Like
I guess we'll have to split up to look for
all
Wesker.
over the place. And if that wasn't good enough, within the first probably hour and a half of the game, when you as the main character get your like real powers or whatever for the first time, the main character's voice acting is garbage. And I'm sorry for the VO who did this. Like, I'm sorry I'm calling you out like that, but bro, you could have done better. And when he first gets his power, he melts through a ship with a sword and jumps out and like does like a big cool attack, right? And he literally yells like Zero from the Mega Man X games where he goes, "What am I fighting for?" Yeah. Like,
Beautiful.
and it's just, oh god, it's so good. Like, it's so satisfying. If you have that game, do not get the Japanese voice pack. Fucking listen to the English version because it's perfect. It's exactly what you want.
Okay.
And yeah,
Yeah.
that's the video games I
Beautiful.
played.
I'll play it in a couple months when I have money again.
Yeah, you should. Hey, if you like Xenoblade 1 and you like, I'm not gonna talk about Xenoblade X because I love that game, but other people don't. If you like Xenoblade 1, you'll probably love this game.
I totally forgot about Xenoblade Chronicles X.
That's
Actually,
my favorite one of the series. Anyway,
So, Mark, what did you play?
no, we did that.
Yeah, I
Uh,
already talked.
So, speaking
No, we're done. The segment's
of,
done.
Hats, it's time for the Wiki
What?
Wiki Wild Wild Web.
Well, let's just. Really
I don't know
quickly-
what that has to do with hats, but sure.
Yeah. Okay.
It's gotta be cowboy,
Hats?
baby.
I mean, okay, there's hats in the movie Wild Wild West starring Will Smith.
Yes,
I
that's
guess.
Wow. Well,
That's as far as that tie-in went. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a wild web.
What's
Yeah,
the?
I mean, that's what I was going for when I came up with this ridiculous title about 20 minutes before
What's
I thought
another
we were
Will
going
Smith
to start
song?
initially. Millennium?
The
No,
one
what's the
that
other
was in
one?
Fucking
Men in Black?
millennials and
Not
their
Get
fucking...
Jiggy With It, not Millennium, not Wild Wild West. What's the other one?
In West Philadelphia.
Parents just don't understand.
Born and
No.
raised.
Miami.
Oh, God.
There we go. That's what I was thinking of.
All right, well, we need to finish this podcast, so we're going to stop talking about Will Smith, and we're going to start talking about weird shit on the internet.
And we're gonna start
And we're
talking
gonna
about
start-
our Lord and Savior Zeno.
I'm going to Miami.
For fuck's, come on.
Welcome to Miami.
Please.
What we're going to do is we're going to let me read this thing, which is, there is a BuzzFeed article title called 17 Sex Stories That Are So Fucking Hot You'll Probably Masturbate to Them. And, okay, now here's the best part, is the caption in this image is, "I was naked and blindfolded in bed. I heard my boyfriend's footsteps coming. I could feel him standing near. That's when he put his Nutella-covered dick in my mouth."
Honestly, you would choke. That shit is like peanut butter. Like, you can't just, like, cram that in somebody's mouth all of a sudden.
Let me just say, if
Yeah.
that happened to me, I'd be like, well, guess who's gonna have a problem soon because there's milk in that. And then there'd be bad things that happen.
And then you'd, have diarrhea while you're sucking their dick? That's fine. That's a
So-
fetish for some people.
Is that a reverse Blumpkin?
Listen, just don't. Let's not go there because this was just kind of
Reverseblumpkin.org.
This was just a taste because the real thing that I brought to the table this week is I was linked a video by some people that I know, and it is the Slingshot channel, which is I guess this guy is German. He likes to shoot things.
Can I
with
say
the
his name?
slingshot.
Because I love to say it.
Sure.
Jorg Sprav.
Yeah, that's the guy. This video is actually pretty old. It's from like 2012.
And he's still around.
He got, he's still doing his thing. He got a slingshot, and he fires, wait for it, vibrating dildos out of it into various things, such as ballistic gel.
Which they did a number on.
Ooh, yeah. They fucked that shit
They
right
really
up.
fucked it. They penetrated the hell out of that ballistic gel. I'm not convinced that they were vibrating when he fired them, by the way, but
Now,
The one that like got stuck and then like bounced out, I think was vibrating, definitely.
now is this how the vibration weapon technology in Star Wars got made?
no, those are vibranium
definitely.
swords, and what they did was they took apart a dildo and then put a blade on it, and then
Knife dildo.
right. Because normally dildos
Yeah,
don't
so-
have knives on them.
I
don't
do
think.
love that bit of Star Wars lore that's only in the side stuff, where it's just like, here's a sword that just vibrates a lot.
Yeah, but it vibrates real fast like the Flash, and therefore it can cut you good.
Yep. So
So,
that's what
so
I had.
I've seen that channel before, and if you love dumb shit, it's beautiful to me that you've only just discovered this, because you should go through that channel and check it out, because wow.
This might be a Braille skateboarding situation where I like start
Yeah.
watching every video.
It's time.
Yeah. Also, I felt like I should bring this one because I did bring that other one of a guy covering a Glock and
Right,
cum
this is
lube.
perfect. This is right
So
up your alley.
This is kind of So we already covered the lube. Now we got the
Right.
dildo. It's perfect.
So now
right?
now you just put the Bad Dragon cum lube on the dildo into the slingshot launcher. Bam. That's like twice the joules, right? It's got to go faster with the lube.
Gotta go fast. That's what they say. That's what Sonic the Hedgehog tells me.
If you shoot a Bad Dragon dildo into the jewels, does that make a lightsaber?
No, joules is a. All right.
First of all, you wouldn't be able to shoot a Bad Dragon dildo because it's too soft. It would start flopping around. It would lose its shape. And then also, when I mentioned this before, we started talking about that scene from Jackass 3D where they just fire a dildo straight at the camera
yeah.
to play with the 3D effects.
All right.
Yeah.
Game Bun, do yours.
Alright, so I didn't have one this week, so I just kind of stole one from Andy. Conquered that. Friend of the podcast. So, due to the Navy, one of the aircrew guys, get kind of bored one day. Decided to take one of the jets and just fly a dick in the sky.
And, like, did they get in trouble, or...
That's a good question. Let's find out together.
I'm pretty sure he got in, like, an obscene amount of trouble.
They got a sharp rebuke.
Wah, 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 wah.
You know how it is.
Just a good old talk to.
The Navy apologizes for this irresponsible and immature act.
This cloud penis in the sky.
But,
I
you
mean,
know...
how do you know it's a penis? It might be like a racetrack, you know?
Yeah, what if that's like a Hot Wheels car track?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Sure, why not?
But, you know, cloud penises. I
What
think
if
that's
it's
probably a fetish, right?
I mean, it
To
is now.
someone. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I guarantee if I type the words cloud and penis into Google right now, I'm gonna get things.
Yeah. Okay, well, everybody needs to go to bed, so I'm just going to do one of mine. Hi. Thanksgiving happened.
Oh no. This is the one you picked?
Yeah,
no,
of course.
No,
Hi, Thanksgiving happened. Have you guys heard of that? It's the thing with the turkey. And
Yeah,
stuff.
I've heard of that.
And also, you've heard of white people, right? They're like,
oh boy,
they're
have
like the
I.
worst people. You know, they
as a white person, I can say
they
confirmed.
like to thieve culture from others and then make very bad things out of it.
Oh,
well, I have
shit.
news. They managed to combine our two favorite things, Thanksgiving and white people. And Giant Bomb member Alex Navarro posted to his Twitter just a retweet and the words "unbelievably cursed thread," which is a thread of videos from someone named @Lydia Burrell, which are a bunch of white people rapping to the beat of famous rap songs about Thanksgiving. And there's like, I don't know, what, over 10, maybe it was like 10 or so videos of these.
There's like 15 of these.
And they're just all the worst thing that I've ever... they're a nightmare. I mean, you've probably seen these already, I'll be honest, if you're on Twitter. But if you haven't, you know, you get to experience this and just feel bad about being a white person, really, because...
Yeah, but they're bad on purpose, right? Or like, you know,
I'm not
supposed to be
sure they
like
are.
satire,
God, I don't think so.
Because that can't be fucking serious, man.
A quick example. I'm all about that based. Mo Butter is one of them.
Yeah.
And
also, the guy in that video is in like
he's in a bunch of them. He's been
which
working.
Is like. Oh, and he's in another one about how everybody hates his mashed potatoes that's set to a Latin beat.
No, yeah,
it's a little
everyone
ridiculous.
hates mashed potatoes. Yes, yeah. And then also there's one where a guy fucks the turkey. So, you know, if you ever wondered if white people were weird, they also want to fuck turkeys. Their rap song. So, yeah, that's
the one where they fuck
that's
the turkeys.
it. I can't even describe this to you.
Down.
You really just need to look at it. That's all I got.
It'll be in the show
It's
notes.
almost 2:00 in the morning. Miko, help me out. Get me out of this hellhole.
We started late. Well,
we did start late.
Help
That's
me
true.
escape from this Republican hellhole.
That's we can talk about that maybe next time. I don't want to do it today because I'm trying. I
just wanted to
end the
mention
podcast.
it just so people know that we're suffering with them.
Hey, Revolution, anytime. I'm ready. Just
bring
call me
the
on my
gallows
telephone.
out. Let's go to work. Am I right?
Yeah, call me. I'll be there. I'll help you out. What's up?
good.
Anyway, that's gonna do it for us today here on Burn Down the Sandcast. So you can go to burndownthesandcastle.info to respond to our current email question, which is probably going to be answered by the time this goes up. So maybe I shouldn't tell you what it is. But it's top Mario of all time. What's your favorite Mario adjacent game? Game with Mario in it?
It's not adjacent.
Not necessarily have to be a main.
It's just any game with Mario in it. What's your favorite one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So doesn't have to be a mainline Mario game.
But it can
you don't
be.
have to give me Mario 64. It could be. But it's more interesting if it's not. You know what I mean?
Fuck that. I'm picking Mario 3. You can suck my cock.
Wow. Okay. All right. So you can follow us on Twitter at @BDTSC. I post there when new episodes go up because the last couple of weeks it's been a little hectic. Schedule's not been that consistent. Sorry about that. It happens.
I'm sorry, I'm struggling.
Yeah, I got.
Look, man, it's the holidays. We'll go with that.
And if you could tell a friend about the podcast, that would also be cool. Or you could rate us on iTunes and just do, retweet everything when it comes out and use Be My Best Friend. That would be cool.
If you click the referral link that is going to pop up on your screen right now, and refer your friends to shut up.
There's no screen. It's a podcast.
You refer your friends with that link. We'll send you your own personalized Bad Dragon coupon for 50% off
to the
any
question
purchase
on our website. Also, if in our web form,
yeah, you can email it to me, or there is a form that will also send it to my inbox.
burndownthesandcastle.info.
Yes, so email podcast at burndownthesandcastle.info, or just go to the website where you can subscribe and...
Text from Animal Crossing Pocket Camp is named Boruto in Japanese.
Why won't you just let me end the podcast? I don't understand.
All right, everyone. Thanks.
All right, we're
thanks
done
for
here.
coming, everyone. We'll see you next time. Remember, Charizard's a bird, and don't smoke crack, please.
Okay, do smoke crack. No, don't do that. But also catch y'all next time.
Charizard is a bird,
Bye.
though.